I'm always blown away by Bang Chan, bro. I'm always blown away by this guy because, like, as soon as he starts talking, he just takes the stage. Doesn't matter what setting he's in. As soon as he starts talking, people start shutting the fuck up and listening. I know there was nothing. He was just kind of explaining something there, but even then, it's like I feel like when Bang Chan speaks, not even outside of like the team and stuff of like Stray Kids, even outside of that, like just in the company. Whenever Bang Chan speaks, everyone opens their ears extra hard to listen to what he's saying. You know what I mean? So it really, I'm always blown away. And just like the respect I have for this guy, man. Okay, Lino. The way Lino's looking at this man, like chill, bro. This is a family-friendly show. Chill. My man is mesmerized. Stray Kids #1. Stray Kids #1. Stray Kids #1. Number one. Any other rank I will not sit right with me. Stray Kids #1. What? What? Fucking what, cunt? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Trolltech here. So today we are finally getting in to the next episode of Two Kids Room. I've been especially excited for this one because first of all, it's my boy Bang Chan and also Han. This is like a dynamic and duo that I've really wanted to kind of delve into. So I'm very excited to get into this. But yeah, without further ado, let's get in. Okay. Before we get into it though, I want to give my impression. Sorry, I got something in my lips. I want to give my impression of like how I view Han and Chan's dynamic currently. The current vibe I have is Han and Chan seem like, I'm sure they're closer than other members just because they're part of 3 Racha, right? They're part of the producing team together. So obviously they spend a lot of time together. Though I feel like Chan, out of like, based on what I've seen, he seems to have the most like, thing relationship with Han. How do I say it? It's like the most big brother, little brother relationship, you know, because with guys like, you know, Changbin and Lino and, you know, those guys, their relationship, like Chan's relationship with them is more like equal, if that makes sense, in a way, where it's like talking to his peers, right? But when he's with like Han, for example, he takes much more of like a more, I don't want to say paternal, but much more like he's the elder kind of role in their dynamics. Like he's like that with the other ones, but with Han specifically, he has that. But then there's also the thing of like, he views Han as, you know, someone that he can also depend on. That's the vibe I'm getting. Which I don't get that same vibe with other members, if that makes sense. Like, not to say that Chan doesn't depend on the younger members. That's not my point. My point is like, he seems to depend on Han in a way he doesn't and like even with Changbin, I feel like he depends on Han and Changbin in a way he doesn't with anyone else. It's just a certain type of dependability they have as, you know, members of 3 Racha. That's the vibe I'm getting. So I'm interested to kind of delve more into that. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, here we go. This is so exciting. Because this is our first Two Kids Room with my boy Chan. Okay, I'm so excited actually.
일단 먹고 시작할까요?
그래. 근데 이거 음료수 준비해 주셨는데 너는 내가 볼 때 아인 것 같은데 난 내 거 뭔지 모르겠다.
과일 주스 아닐까요, 이거? 와, 치즈케이크 미쳤네.
Please, already.
이거 먹느라 너무 정신이 팔려가지고 내 아까운 아이스 아메리카노를
Everything I've seen from Han, he's like relatively a clumsy dude. Like when it comes to, like not when he's performing, but when he's like just chilling.
그럼 나랑 한이는 이제 우리 얼마 동안 알았지?
제가 2015년에 연습생으로 들어왔으니까
이제 7년 알았네.
7 years, okay.
Oh my gosh.
거의 이제
So
3년만
these guys, these two have known, because I did read, I can't remember if it was in the Patreon comments or the YouTube comments, but I read that Han was the first member of Stray Kids, or like the first person Bang Chan recruited, right? So that's interesting to me, where it's almost like, even though he's not a senior of the group, but he is in a way. Like in a way, Han is like in the context of how Bang Chan recruited them, he's like the upperclassman, I guess, of the group. Like he's been there longer, but then you've got like Changbin and Lino being older than him, so obviously there's a thing there. So I wonder how they kind of contextualize that, you know, like Han, for example, he's been with Chan since day one, essentially. And then, like, but he's not like among the oldest of the group. So it's almost like, yeah, it's this weird thing, right? Where, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to explain it. Not to say that like Lino and Changbin have more power than him or anything. I don't think that's what being older means in the context of this. It's just like a respect thing. It's just interesting, right? Where usually, I think generally in like more Western cultures, it wouldn't be based on your age, like the kind of respect or whatever. It would be based on when you join the group. You know, so if this was a Western band, I would say like most likely Han would have been in Lino's position, if that makes sense. Like, I think it's just an interesting difference in cultures, right? Which I find fascinating. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with anything, but it was just interesting.
Oh my god.
왜?
행복해요. 서로 그 포인트가 다르죠.
약간 생각 포인트.
라이프스타일.
아 라이프스타일.
해야 할 건 무조건 끝내야 되는 스타일이고,
아 맞아.
완벽하게 끝내야 되는 스타일이고, 마지막까지 기다렸다가
벼락치기.
Me and Han are brothers, mate. Please don't even get me started on this. I actually tell you a little story. So yesterday, I had an assignment due today, right? And it was like a couple thousand word essay, whatever it was. And I left it to the last possible fucking minute. I don't know how I finished it. I ended up finishing it, but like, that's me, fully. I do not do anything until the last possible second that I'm going to do that thing. So I feel it. I feel like the thing is, I want to be like Chan, right? I'm playing this thing. I'm going to do this thing. And then it is what it is, right? And I try to plan it, but then all it ends up happening, I write it down. I'm like, I'm going to do this then, and then I'll do a bit here and a bit here. But what I end up doing is like, oh shit, I've got 3 hours. I've got to hand this in. Let's get started.
치기라는 스타일이고.
Yeah, I'm a big procrastinator.
한방에 대해서 한번 얘기를 해봅시다. 좋습니다.
한방 인생은 한방이죠.
한방.
완전 반대인 것 같아.
완전 반대지.
안 맞는 것 같은데 또 작업할 때는 또 되게 잘 맞더라.
왜냐면 내가 중간에 있거든.
아
그럴 때는 막 되게 많거든. 뭐 예를 들어 막 형이 좀 예민할 때 막 여유될 때 많잖아. 근데 그럴 때
You would be with all that responsibility.
그냥 아 형 또 그런가 보다 해서 최대한 거리를 두겠지만 근데 가끔씩 뭐 이렇게 툭 치거나 약간 이럴 때 뭔가 아 이거 한이도 그치 나를 확실히 잘 알긴 하구나 약간 이럴 때 있는 것 같기도 하고.
So I want to actually talk a bit about that. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying before. Han was the first to join Bang Chan, right? I think that's where it comes from. Like, I feel like Bang Chan generally is a guy that doesn't accept help, right? He's one of those guys, very selfless and almost to a fault, you know? You know, he's so selfless that sometimes it can come to his detriment. I feel like Han is in one of those positions where it's like, he has the confidence to be like, look, man, you're doing too much or you need to ease up or whatever. But then also, Bang Chan, I feel like when it comes to Han, would be the only one where he would actively listen to what he's saying, because as a result of obviously their history and as a result of like them both being part of Three Racha, just like a multitude of things, which I find interesting.
비슷해.
오래 봤잖아. 안 비슷한 거 같으면서
둘 다 일단 꿍에 있으면 말이 없어.
맞아.
찬이 형이 기분이 안
What was that gasp,
좀
please?
멀리서부터 냄새가 난다.
초식 동물이야?
냄새가 나. 근데 한이도 이제 기분이 안 좋다? 어둠의 기운이 이렇게 스멀스멀.
찬이 형은 약간 멀리서부터 풍겨오는 어두운 기운이고 한이는 구석에서부터 이렇게 슬슬
이런 구석에서 이렇게 찬이 형 가운데서 촥.
우리 싸우는 건 직접 본 적이 없는 것 같지.
와 진짜로?
일상생활을 하다가 누가 말 한 번 잘못하잖아? 상처를 입게 해. 그러면 한 명이 이제
한 명 꿍에 있어.
한 명이 꿍에 있는 거야 이제.
반격을 안 하지.
Also, they
연습하다가
don't confront each other. Interesting.
그러니까 보이거든?
아,
뭔지
You
알겠어?
can get that vibe from their personalities, like Han and Chan. Just one sec. Because, like, Chan is very smiley and he's positive all the time. So I could see when he gets angry, he doesn't want to burden people with his anger. He seems to be that kind of guy. Han, on the other end, is very much cheerful, sunshine child thing, right? So he tries maybe not to show his anger if he gets angry about something or annoyed about something or whatever. So I think they have similar personalities in that way. You know, what I call it is, actually, I think Stray Kids, they're split into two sections. One section is the school of Bang Chan, and then one section is the school of Lino, right? I think generally, the way they respond as people and as artists, I think is very much influenced by the two eldest, in a way, where the way certain members respond to tense situations and whatever situations is a very Bang Chan version of it, where he's like, he tries to hide his anger or he tries to endure the thing and just deal with it, which I can see like Han's like that. I think to a certain extent, like Ian's like that. You know, some members are like that. And then you got the Lino where he's very much, if he's pissed off, he's going to show that he's pissed off, right? And then I think people like Sungmin and Changbin and those kind of guys are like that in what I've seen. It's just interesting, like how the elders influence how the youngers respond to certain situations.
뭔지 알겠지?
안무에서 사니까 딱 떠오르네.
그리고 또 이따 보면 또 둘이 또 꿍냥꿍냥 되고 있어.
그래, 맞아. 야, 우리는 싸우고 바로 해야 하니까.
젤 네일을 제가 어느 날 그냥 기분 전환으로 하고 짠 나타났잖아요.
근데 검은색으로.
검은색으로 아예. 그러니까 처음에는 되게 뭔가 이질적이었거든요. 내 몸에 약간 다른 색소가 있다는 느낌이 뭔가 이상했는데 머리 빼고. 근데 하고 나니까 되게 무대에서도 잘 보이고. 이렇게 비교해도 될지 모르겠지만 이제 헤어지면 머리를 자른다고 하잖아요. 헤어지면 머리를 자르고 새로운 시작이야 이러고 이런 그게 있잖아요.
처음 들어봐. 근데
그것처럼 뭔가 이거 하니까 뭔가 새로운 시작이야.
No, that's hilarious. Please, no. Han's being so serious. He's like, you know, when people cut their hair when they're breaking up. And then Bang Chan, all these days, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, fine, but okay. Like, please. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but that's what I mean when I say Bang Chan's so unintentionally funny, you know?
그게 있잖아요.
처음 들어봐. 근데
그것처럼 뭔가 이거 하니까 뭔가 새로운 시작이다 막 이런 느낌이 나가지고.
That's hilarious, bro.
했었잖아. 우리 그 소리꾼 활동할 때 그때만 하고 이제 안 했어. 그러니까 약간 이런 시기 그때만 뭔가 하나의 컨셉으로 이제 했고 이제 그 끝난 다음에 그냥 다 지웠었는데 그거는 나도 한번 아예 한이처럼 완전 그냥 블랙으로 한번 젤로 한번 해볼까라고 생각은 했었었거든.
아 근데 그거 이제 전부 10개 다 하면 약간 그거 비춘 게 손톱이 다 깨져요.
아 깨지구나.
진짜 많이 저번에 피 났어요 여기서.
아 그래?
그래서 이거를 한두 개 정도 그냥 포인트 되는 색깔로 하는 게 나을 것 같더라고요. 근데 뭐 다시 회복은.
I feel like that's the most, like, that's the type of, like, damage on the body that I feel like just, you know, it makes me cringe the most, like nails breaking and that type of shit. Because I remember one time this nail fully came off. I've never felt pain like this in my fucking life. It hurts so much. Like, it fully just fucking snapped off. But yeah, that's the one, like, body pain I just can't deal with. Because I've broken so many bones in my body. I've broken my nose. I've broken a couple of my fingers. I've fractured my shoulder. I fractured my fucking waist. So like, I have had so many injuries. I just nail injuries are the worst.
그래서 한이가 맨날 아침에 깨워줘요. 그 진짜 너무너무 고마운 거를 그동안 쌓아놓은 걸 지금 너무 고맙다고 얘기를 하고 싶었어.
있잖아요. 번데기가 그 성충을 우화하는 과정. 그런
That's so
걸
random.
형상화 시켜놓듯이 이불을 이렇게 다 이렇게 똘똘 말아가지고
It's so random, bro.
이렇게 그 휴대폰 보는 거치대가 있어요.
맞아.
그래서 그걸로 이렇게 보통 이렇게 뭐 재생하고 손에 이렇게 딱 누르고 밖에 꺼내놓잖아요. 다시 이렇게 꺼내기 귀찮아서 그대로 이러고 보고 있어요. 그러니까 눈도 방금 일어난 것 같아. 가끔 보면 밤을 샜나? 일어나셔야 하면 깜짝 놀라가지고 고개만 이렇게 해가지고 네, 약간 자고 일어났을 때 그런
신기한.
귀여워요. 그러니까 귀여워요. 귀엽다고 말해줄 수 있어요.
동생들이 뭔가
I'm trying to be nice.
흥미를 가지고 뭔가
He's like, I'll say cute.
되게 재밌다. 그 삶에 낙이 생긴다.
아 그래?
근데 찬이 형이 되게 그래. 한이가 뭔가에 열중해서 딱 뭔가에 빠져드는 걸 되게 보고 싶어해.
What a dad.
그런 걸
He's such a
찾는 걸
dad,
직접
bro.
나서서 막 노력하고 막 이런 편이거든. 한이는 근데 쉽게 흥미를 잘 안 가져. 흥미를 가지다가도 금방 질려하는 스타일이야.
Yeah, I'm like that as well.
되게 안타까워하고
I can get like
또
that.
찾아주려고 그러고 막 그런 게 있어. 너는 그런 거 신경 안 써? 형들이 뭐 하는 거 신경
He does seem to have that personality though. Han seems to be like that where he would, I feel like if he gets interested in something, he'll be obsessed with it for like 2 weeks and then he'll just move on. That's the vibe I get. But then Bang Chan's personality gives me the vibe of like when he gets into something, I could see him just like obsess about that thing for a long time or, you know, continuously go back to that thing. That's just the personality vibes I get from them.
한이 진짜 해 뜰 때까지 게임한 적이 있어요. 한이는 진짜 약간
Yeah, like for example, games. Like,
이미지가 아니잖아요. 저는
see, I wouldn't call myself a gamer 24/7. I love playing games, don't get me wrong. There'll be a new game out or new game that I'm interested in playing, and I'll be obsessed with that game for 2 weeks straight. And then I won't play games for like a month, and then I'll play games for again for 3 weeks straight. And I won't play games for like 2 months, and then I'll play games for like a month straight. Like that's how I play games. So I wouldn't call myself a gamer. People that are gamers, it's like they're always playing video games, you know. But yeah, I get obsessed. If I get obsessed, I get obsessed. Like I remember when Red Dead 2 came out, I didn't have a shower for 3 days. And I just smashed through that game. Like I didn't sleep, didn't have a shower. Like I was literally, I think, not 3 days, but like 48 hours, I did not sleep. I was just so obsessed.
한이가 정말 진지하게 행복하게 게임하는 모습을 보고
He's such
내가
a
너무
dad.
행복해져가지고 그때 진짜 계속 너랑 같이 게임하고 싶었어.
제가 처음으로 게임을 한 3일 동안 밤새면서 했던 것 같아요.
맞아.
다 깼어요.
Oh, I was just talking about 3 nights. We literally did the same thing.
그러니까 제가 뭐 하나에 꽂히면 이게 진짜 정말 미친.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like that as well.
그때 모든 집중력과 내 모든 걸 다 쏟아내가지고
맞아.
하는데 다
완전
깨고 나니까 이제 흥미가 그러니까 이렇게 있다가 확 떨어지는 거예요.
Nah, that's so true. Like that's so true.
것 같아요. 뭔가 그 게임이 조금만 더 길었다면.
That's exactly what I'm like.
보스전이 있더라고요.
어.
거의 8판 했어요. 한 3시간 걸렸어요. 그거만 깨는데. 근데 뭔가 저도 제
Why do I feel like he was playing Dark Souls?
이렇게 열심히 한 적이 처음이라서 되게 신기했다가 뭐 그리고 다시 뭐 침대 들어가서 군뱅이 됐죠.
난 그때 진짜 너무 신기하고 너무 좋았어.
옛날에 그런 적이
You know-
있으니까 제가 게임
Bagche gives me, you know what vibes he gives me? You know when you're like, your dad walks in and he's like, "Are you winning, son?" Like that's the vibes that Bang Chan gives me at all times. I've just realized that's what I was trying to think. Like, what does he remind me of?
게임을 안 하잖아요. 롤 게임을 안 하잖아요.
I don't like League of Legends either. I try to play it.
그래가지고 롤 챔피언들을 다 외웠어요.
맞아,
롤
맞아,
챔피언들 다
맞아.
외우고 그리고 그에 대한 얘기까지 다 알아.
Oh no, I do that shit as well.
그래서 그때부터
Nah, I do that as well, bro.
그래서 너 티어 몇이야? 나 게임 안 하는데 왜 알아? 이러니까
왜 알아?
몰라.
Yeah, like I will know everything about a game, and I haven't played it at all. Like League of Legends is a perfect example where I know most of like what's going on in the game. I just don't want to play it, you know? Or Overwatch, for example. Like I was obsessed with Overwatch for a bit, but like for like a week or so, but then I got over it and I don't really play it. but I know everything you could possibly know about the game, the story and all that shit. Like, yeah, I'm like that's bro, me and Han are spirit brothers. That's what we are, bro.
저 오랜만에 다 같이 막 게임하러 갔었는데 근데 하나 너 게임 해? 그러니까 이제 게임은 안 해요. 근데
Like when it comes to our concentration, like he's probably ADHD to be honest. Like if we're to be honest, because everything that he's saying, it sounds like something ADHD people sound like.
진짜로 아무것도 신경 안 써.
Wait,
저기서 이럴 수 없는 애야.
wait, let's go back.
장난이고 좋은 오지랖이 엄청 많이 있어. 뭐 나쁘게 말하면 오지랖이 닮은 거야. 장난이고 좋은 오지랖이에요. 한이는 오지랖이라고는 찾아볼 수 없는 애야. 진짜로. 아무것도 신경 안 써.
좋은 거 같아. 그거.
저기서 이런 일이 일어난다? 그런가 보구나. 하나 이랬대. 진짜?
옛날 한일 생각하면은 난 그 오디션 영상이 떠오르거든.
이거?
몰라. 그래서 뭐 춤도 춤이고 그냥 한이의 그 이미지가 떠올린단 말이야. 옷 입은 색깔이랑
뭐 입었었지?
약간의 그 카키 색깔의 약간 자켓 같 데님 자켓 모르겠어. 어쨌든 뭐
맞다
있었어.
그때 형 거 입고 왔다 우리 형 거.
모자 썼던 거 같고.
모자 비니.
그래서 그게 너무 이미지 확.
Okay, so he's a younger sibling, Han. Like in general. Okay, that's why. That's why he is how he is. I was like, me and Han have too many similarities. I'm like, why? Why is this? Like, personality-wise and, like, just how random he is and just, like, certain traits. I'm like, there's something similar. There's something familiar about him. It's because he's a younger sibling, right? Like, he's actually a younger sibling, like, in real life. That's why. I bet you anything he's the youngest as well. If he has, like, multiple siblings, he's probably the youngest, just based on how he is, right? Because I'm the youngest.
지금의 그때랑 지금 비교를 하면은 생각나는 대로 말하자면 진짜 그냥 좀 멋있는 약간 아티스트가 된.
Not the thumbs up.
왜냐면 한이가 이제 또 평소에 그런 음악인들 뭐 그런 아티스트 영상 진짜 많이 보거든요.
Wait, who's he talking about? Ah, okay.
그런 음악인들 뭐 그런 아티스트 영상 진짜 많이 보거든요. 엄청 많이 봐. 뭐 근데 약간 그 뭐라 해야지? 그냥 한이가 선배님들 그렇게 보듯이 약간 제가 한이를 그렇게 보는 느낌이랄까? 약간 한이가 뭔가 되게 멋있어지고 점점.
I love how willing Bang Chan is to just be open.
멋있는 것 같아. 그리고
Like, I feel like generally, this is what I've noticed. The other guys, and they're open to giving compliments and stuff like that. But I've found that Bang Chan genuinely, it's like giving people compliments. He's so comfortable doing it. You know what I mean? Because like even Hyunjin and Felix and like they give compliments and stuff, but they seem like they're not forcing themselves, but they are actively they're attempting to show how much they're impressed with the others. You know what I mean? Like they're actively saying, I'm going to compliment this person. I'm going to tell them what I think is really cool about them. But Bang Chan's like compliments are so natural where it's just like, that's the natural response to how he behaves around the members is just him complimenting them. Because to him, it's just like, it's the most natural thing, which I find interesting. But then on the other hand, I've noticed that when people compliment him, he has no idea how to react.
그때는 진짜 어깨가 없었어.
맞아요.
No
어깨
shoulders.
다리를 벌려보라고 해라 하면 저는 꼬았어야 됐어요. 그 정도로 이제 어깨가 거의 무슨 박쥐가 날개 덮듯이 이렇게 붙여져 있었는데 다행히도
No, Han is
운동을
hilarious.
시작하면서 어깨라는 게 생성이 됐죠. 뭐 이거는
I love the zoom in on the shoulders.
후천적인 변화죠.
그래서 지금 운동하는 한이의 모습이 볼 때마다 되게 너무 뿌듯하고 너무 멋있고 너무 좋은 것 같아서 지금 한이 몸이 되게 좋은 것 같아.
See, the compliments just coming out naturally.
갈려 있어.
많지.
진짜 많아. 근데 그만큼 또 한이 형이 그 트랙에 작업을 진짜 다 쓰고 다
맞아.
하는 거 보면
한이는
대단한 것
보통
같아.
버리는 트랙이 없어.
맞아.
난 되게 많거든. 나는 하다가 막히면 그냥 안 해버리거든. 그냥 그 트랙에 대해 다시 떠오르기 전까지는 아예 신경도 안 써. 근데 한이는 한 번 시작하면 끝까지 가.
맞아. 어떻게 이렇게 계속 아이디어가 나오지?
I think generally in that way, I'm probably like Changbin. Like when you start something and then you're like, okay, I'm lost right now. So I put it to the side, and then the idea pops up again, and you pick it back up. I'm more like that. I don't. You know why? I don't like doing things that are not enjoyable anymore. You know, like that's why I probably am like. That's probably why I was a bad student, because like as soon as I stop enjoying something, I will stop doing it. I don't care what it is. I will stop doing it. Like even with jobs that I've had in the past, where I'm just like, as soon as the job gets like unbearable, or just annoying, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm okay. I quit. I'm leaving. I don't care, because we only have 80 years max in this world. Why would you waste time doing something you don't like at all? You know, like not to say this is the case here. I'm just saying generally.
신기하지. 아이디어. 나도 그거 보면서 되게 신기해. 아이디어.
Like, why would you do something that's stressing you out at that point?
되게 힘들었나 봐. 한이가 한이를 볼때 찬이 형이 그냥 완전 100% 믿고 맡기는 게 보이긴 해.
잘 봐?
That's what I was talking about. He depends on Han in a certain way.
아 완전 달라.
한이는 느낌 나왔으면 오케이 패스하는 찬이 형은
한이는 약간 천재라서
어.
내가 어떻게 불렀는지 기억을 못해 가이드를. 한이가 나 어떻게 불렀더라? 가이드 한번 듣고 갈게. 가이드 듣고. 그 음이 이게 맞. 찬이 형 이거 맞죠? 지가 카메라 써놓고.
지가 써놓고 지가 모를 때 있어.
약간 천재라서 얘가.
이번에 형 만들어준 거 그거 계속 웬만하면 멜로디를 진짜 빨리.
I find that interesting, actually, when you think about it. Han, I was talking about it, that he has, even in the Stray Kids like survival show in the first episode, like you can see he has that like just pure talent within him, right? Which I think works against him in a way, in that he doesn't understand the mechanics of his talent, maybe sometimes, which is pretty common. But then you got someone like Bang Chan, which I respect, he's worked for everything. Like everything that he has now, it's like, not to say Han hasn't worked hard. That's not what I'm saying. He fully has probably worked equally as hard, but objectively, if you look at someone like Bang Chan, who maybe wasn't the most genius or talented guy, but who worked really hard and understands what works and what doesn't work, exactly why they work and why they don't work, I think makes them such a strong like duo together, if that makes sense.
같은 거 다 빨리 쓰고 처음으로 되게 장기 프로젝트를 제가
아 그래?
혼자 거의 하루에 그 같은 벌스 부분만 멜로디를 5번 바꾼 것 같아요.
진짜 안돼. 공감.
그러니까 그 제가 요즘 듣는 음악이랑 그 트랙이 너무
달라.
비슷한 장르여가지고
비슷한 장르여서.
제가 너무 하고 싶었던 장르였거든요. 뭐 앨범에 수록이 되든 뭐 어떻게 되든 결과는 상관없으니까 그냥 제가 너무 마음에 드는 곡을 만들고 싶어가지고
Yeah.
트랙은 이미 너무 완성형이거든요.
그래?
제 기준에서는 너무 좋은 그거라서 그거는 진짜
That's what I was saying. Just do what you want to do.
좀
Like,
제대로 만들고 싶어서 그건 좀 잘 하고 있어요.
찬이 형이랑 한이랑 나랑 이렇게 같이 딱 붙어 있잖아. 나랑 찬이 형은 신나. 막 신난 한이 좀 피곤해. 이렇거나 이런 상황이 있거나
맞아 딱 표정보면 딱 그 느낌이야.
이런 상황이 있거나 아니면 한이 혼자 여기야. 나랑 찬이 형은 이런. 뭔지 알지?
that's interesting that they're not like.
그 신뚜두뚜두 녹음하면서
It's interesting that Bang Chan and Changbin are more on the same wavelength often than Han is, which I think again comes from the way their talents work, right? Changbin and Chan's talents seem to be much more in understanding the like processes of making music, in that where Han is like, he's just a pure genius, fucking born to be a performer. That, you know, he loves the adrenaline of it and the excitement of it, and I think it's interesting that, you know, they're never really on that same wavelength, you know, but I think it's a good thing, because you want different perspectives, especially in a tight-knit team like Three Racha, where they're, you know, producing most of their music and writing most of the lyrics for Stray Kids and stuff like that. It's just interesting.
두명 패션이
왜 저기 있잖아.
야, 그건 진짜 신기한 것 같아. 책임감. 책임감이 진짜 있는 게 그거는 진짜 부러워요. 뭔가 이제 무언가를 곡을 만들고 끝냈을 때, 예를 들어서 그냥 곡을 끝냈을 때 저는 그 마무리를 잘 못 짓거든요. 마무리를 잘 못 짓는데 이제 찬이 형이 이제 뭐 트랙이든
That's what I'm talking about when I say
가사가
Bang Chan is like understands what music is. Like, you know what I mean? Like he understands the process, every element of it, which allows him to be the way he is. Where even if we look at him objectively, if we look at him at two performers as Han and Chan, I think objectively Han is the better performer. Like just objectively, like I would say he's most of the time he's the better rapper. I think his stage presence is more, it shines more. But on the other hand, if we're looking at purely as a producer, I think Chan is so fucking talented. Like I think he's like on his own level. Obviously, I don't want to talk too much because I haven't seen too much of like them in that habitat of being producers. But generally, the vibe I get is that Chan, as someone who looks at music as a whole, I think he fully understands what needs to happen in a song, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
같은 거라든가 약간 마무리를 잘 해주고 정리를 잘 해주는 느낌. 그렇게 책임감 있게 뭐 하나를 끝내고 그다음 챕터로 넘어가는 게 되게 그건 되게 고마운 것 같아요. 곡 작업에 있어서도 그렇고.
Like he understands structure, which I guess as a leader he needs to.
옛날에는 어른들을 보면 약간 멋있기도 하고 무섭잖아요. 약간 그냥 내가 쉽게 다가갈 수 없는 어른이었는데 지금은 되게 멋진 어른이 된 것 같아요.
아 나는 워낙 내가 주체할 수 없는 그런 답답함이 생기면 나도 모르게 막 눈물 날 때 있어가지고 최대한 애들 앞에서는 숨기고 싶긴 하지만 그게 안 될 때 몇 번 있어가지고 가끔씩 그게 보였던 것 같긴 한데
흐르진 않고 약간 여기 고였다가 다시 쑥 들어가는.
엄청 열심히 노력하지.
They get dry on your cheeks.
눈물 흘린 거 본 적 있는데 뭐 최근에 뭐 기적 보고 약간 눈물 흘렸다 했는데 그 모습을 못 봐가지고
그거 있잖아. 아무리 슬픈 영화를 멤버들이랑 같이 봐도 울 때 눈치 보여 이게.
아 됐지.
아니 뭔가 콧소리 내는 것도 힘들어. 약간 하면 애들이 이렇게 볼까 봐. 노냐?
You know what's funny? I'm actually like that. Like, not consciously though. Like if I'm watching movies by myself or TV shows, I cry like a baby. But when I'm with other people, doesn't matter how sad the thing we're watching, I just do not shed tears. I don't even tear up slightly. I wonder what it is. It's like a subconscious thing. Like when you're by yourself, maybe you feel a sense of like safety and comfort to express yourself how you feel like it. So like I've sobbed at the fucking most inane things to sob at. Like I remember I was watching what was that movie? I forgot what it was. It was like a cartoon. Like it wasn't anything crazy emotional, but I just teared up for no reason. Like, you know, but I can't when I'm with other people and people can see me, I can't cry either.
아니 뭐 실제적으로 그거 가지고 놀린
Like I haven't
놀린
I haven't cried in front of someone since I was 17, which is 10 years ago, right? That's the last time I cried in front of someone.
막 그런 건 없는데 그냥 괜히 내가 민망해.
아 그치.
그래가지고 멤버들 앞에서는 잘 안 울죠.
한이가 은근 눈물이 없어. 내가 보일 때는 너가 잘 숨기는 걸 수도 있는데.
웬만하면 잘 안 울죠. 근데 이게 영화나 그런 걸 보면 우는데 애니메이션이나 특히 그런 거는.
Well, fucking same, bro.
나도 공감.
Me and Han are so similar.
그래서 나 거실에 가면 둘이서 같이 이렇게 소파에 앉아가지고 한이는 그 소파 위에서
뭔지 알면
만화 이러고 보고 있고 찬영 여기서 그 애니메이션 게임이 있어. 게임하고 있어.
그거 옛날에 하는 거.
그래서 난 이거 보면서 다들 즐겁게 놀고 있네요. 다시 방 들어가지.
요즘 그러니까 멤버들.
I don't know why Hyunjin saying that just made me laugh. Like I could just imagine them. Like you just see Han and Chan just chilling in the living room, and then Hyunjin walks in. He just stands there for 5 seconds, and then he just turns right back.
붙어 있었을 때는.
Just the image of that makes me laugh.
맞아. 많이 하고 빨리 혼자 쓰고 싶다 이러니까 막 그런 생각도 많이 하고 그랬었는데 이게 막상 각자 방에 되고 나니까 좋은 부분은 물론 있죠. 좋은 부분도 물론 있는데 그러니까 가끔 그런 생각이 들더라고요. 그때는 이제 옛날에는 옆에 이엔이가 있었잖아요. 이엔이가 이런저런 얘기도 하고 그리고 뭐 갑자기 찬이 형도 씻다가 말고 들어와가지고 왜 그런지 모르겠는데 씻다가 말고 들어와가지고 막 뭐해 에이 슬리핑 막 이런 장난도 치고 막 그랬었을 때가 있었는데 같이 살았을 때는 그리울 때가 있는 것 같아요. 그럴 때가. 뭐 셀카 한 장 찍고 끝낼래요?
오케이 제가 할게요. 하나,
That one went so fast because like I love their dynamic
마지막. 하나,
because they're interesting, right? It's like they're the same person but they're so different at the same time. These two,
둘 다 뭔가
like personality wise.
컸다.
But I think generally as like musicians and as like guys, as you know, co-workers, if you want to call them, like from that perspective, I think they're very similar in the way they approach things. But then personality wise, they're very different as well. But they're both the same in a way as well. Like both of them are very like happy and smiley and stuff, but just in different ways, you know, which I find interesting.
투키즈룸 방찬한.
Like I would say, you know what I've noticed in this clip, if Chan wasn't the oldest and wasn't the leader, I think he would have been like the Han in the group. Like he would have been the little brother that like just pissed everyone off for no reason, like just, stirred shit. Like he would have been that guy if he wasn't the leader. Like I think that personality wise, they're very similar. But yeah, this was fun. I like these two kids' rooms are so good. I think they provide such an insight into these guys, and it's really fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to, like the video, I guess. Well, it's on Patreon, but this will go on YouTube in like a week. But yes, that's what's happening. Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. If you're watching this on Patreon, thank you for being a patron, as always. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye. I'm always blown away by Bang Chan, bro. I'm always blown away by this guy because, like, as soon as he starts talking, he just takes the stage. Doesn't matter what setting he's in. As soon as he starts talking, people start shutting the fuck up and listening. I know there was nothing. He was just kind of explaining something there, but even then, it's like, I feel like when Bang Chan speaks, not even outside of like the team and stuff of like Stray Kids, even outside of that, like just in the company, whenever Bang Chan speaks, everyone opens their ears extra hard to listen to what he's saying. You know what I mean? So it really, I'm always blown away, and just like the respect I have for this guy, man. Okay, Lino.
형이 계속 잡아주려고 했는데
The way Lino's looking at this man, like chill, bro. This is a family-friendly show. Chill. My man is mesmerized. Stray Kids number one. Stray Kids number one. Stray Kids number one. Number one. Number one. Any other rank will not sit right with me. Stray Kids number one. What? What? Fucking what, cunt?